Aha, and we're live.
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Yes, Afro-stan. Afro-stan. We're back in the building. We had a bit of a pause yesterday. We're called out. And yes, we're back with the same message.
But a
Af
new background.
yeah, the new background. Levels going up. Yes, Afro-stan. Abu learns about Buddhism with Guttajinavamso. Did I
Yeah,
get that correct?
Wang So.
Guttajinavamso.
Very good, very
Yes,
good.
yes. So basically, yesterday we were just on about finding out how Guttajinavamso got on his journey that has inspired a lot of us. Uh, just trying to understand what was in his mindset, what was in his frame, what got him to the place, what were his motivating factors, what changes came into play, how he was received at the monastery, and maybe for future people that would want to consider the path and see how they could go on the same and yeah. So Gutajina Vamso.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we left off yesterday on a bit on getting understanding how you got to the monastery, how you were received, and yeah.
Yeah. So I've talked about how I have had before previous contact with a monk who has recommended me to go to the monastery, and how they were like first a bit wary of me, but still were like very committed to the Buddhist teaching, and they saw that I was very motivated to actually like participate in this. And uh, so yeah, and although there were like some problems with like legal things, administrative things with like visa and um, getting registered with the Thai government, what you have to do once you become a novice there, and um, you need to do like a criminal background check and things like this, right? So these are like sort of administrative things that are like sort of things to do. They have helped a lot with this, and we've all taken care of it. And yeah, it was just great being there. They the language barrier was basically all the time sort of a problem, especially with like the more senior monks, so none of them could speak English. But we managed somehow to communicate, and he even managed to lecture me, like I think within the first or second week, to give me
Mhm.
like a lecture, like, oh, you're not doing this correctly. You need to like be more careful, expect yourself more, and things like this. So yeah, that was quite interesting to get like the full dosage already. Like, no, you're following the wrong path if you continue on like this, basically.
Continue on like what? Like what are some examples that you would say some of the first
Impression.
yeah impressions I would say like culture shocks or
Yeah.
things that you needed to work on immediately as you were integrating
Yeah,
to the
so one of them was that I am a vegan, right?
Mhm.
So, but there I mm, the most of the monks eat like fish and meat, and the lay people also, right? It's just completely normal there in Thailand.
Okay.
And so I was thinking like, oh yeah, like first of all, they're like, of course, my beliefs, but my beliefs are maybe not that important. But like this part of the Buddhist teachings, you could like maybe interpret in such a way that like vegetarianism is also allowed, and maybe it's also not so good to like slaughter animals. Like the Buddha has talked about how um, being a butcher or something is like very bad karma.
Yeah.
But it also talked about how monks are allowed to eat meat if the meat was not specifically slaughtered for them, right? If the animal
Okay.
was not specifically slaughtered for them, and it's allowed for them to eat the meat. And so, of course, this was some, let's say, culture shock where, like, especially in the West, people tend to like focus more on this, like, oh, we should like be compassionate, and it's not good to like, support the meat industry or something like
Yes.
this. While as in Thailand, it's like very much like, no, this is explicitly allowed by the Buddha for monks to do this. And if you are not receiving this meat, then you are sort of like not you're preventing the lay people from doing a good thing, right? So
Okay.
you are preventing them from giving to you food, which is like a very bad thing. And additionally, you're making it more difficult for them to take care of you.
Okay.
So there's like several things in which they were like more concerned about. And yeah, it
Okay.
was quite a shock. So in the end, I still um, I talked about how no, I don't want them to like specifically take care of me, even if
Okay.
I just like, if I just eat rice and just have like I have my vitamins and just
Mm-hmm.
eat like my vitamins and rice, it's like completely fine with me. Don't do like anything extra
Yeah.
for me. But of course, the lay people they do want to take care of the monks and the novices, etc.
Yeah.
So some of them went out of their way to like find
Okay.
some things that might be like tasty for me to eat or something.
Okay. Just for a backdrop, the lay people, if I'm correct, are the is the village around the villages that are around the monastery.
Basically, yes. So the lay people is concerns all people who are not monks and not novices. So those who are like still working, making
Okay.
money, living in their own house or
So
whatever.
even me being from Africa or something, am I automatically a lay person?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
it would also be like basically everybody who's not full-time spiritual practitioner
Okay.
would be a layperson. So even sometimes you would say that maybe a monk from the Christian tradition, they would also be like not considered a layperson because they have left behind their own old possessions and they
Okay.
now live in this monastic community. So this would also be not a layperson, even
Okay.
if they're not necessarily Buddhist.
Okay. So uh, uh, from the lay people are the people that present the monks their I don't know say ration for the day, their food for the
Exactly.
day.
Yes.
Okay, and so what you're saying is that you were a vegan that came out. You're a vegan that came out. So you're basically receiving like sort of a gift, but saying, "Oh no, my food should be vegan." I wanted.
Basically something like
Oh,
this.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. So it was going a bit against the norm of
Exactly, yeah.
receiving. Oh, okay, 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 okay.
So although I was thinking about it like, oh, I'm like being more, how do I say, I'm reducing my needs,
Yeah,
right? So like, but
but you're actually
but
increasing them.
increasing, yeah,
Whoa,
exactly, like
whoa.
this. It's like a Uno reverse card for me a little bit.
Vegans, you heard it from your fellow vegan. You could actually also be increasing, yeah, increasing the thing. But no, that's an interesting perspective. That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah,
Okay, so I think a term comes to my head is beggars cannot also be choosers.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. Okay, that's now interesting. That's interesting. So
Yeah.
I yes, we're at the monastery now. You are arriving in Thailand. We're at the monastery. You've been arrived as received by some of the monks
Mm.
there. Yes, we I think we're all interested to know also what do what do the monasteries look like? Uh what are some of the who are some of the people you engaged with there?
Mm.
And would it also be possible to see Guttajinavamso in his
Role.
yes.
Yeah, like I have prepared a few pictures. It's not
Okay.
like all of them. Let's see. We can change to this and then maybe do some display capture. We can change to this one.
Okay.
And so here I have opened um, the Google Maps page of our monastery.
Okay.
And so here you can see this is like the monastery across. This is so there are like two monasteries right across each other, which are like sort of seen as part of one monastery. So
Okay.
one monastery is like the study monastery where I was staying,
Okay.
right? So this is where our head monk was staying and he was teaching a lot, 4 hours a day.
Okay.
Like after breakfast, after lunch, he was teaching maybe like half an hour, and in the evening again 2 hours.
Okay.
And
It's like the church.
yeah, it was our living place, and there was like
Okay.
one part also where he was like teaching.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
And you get the
Lay
lay
people
people
also
also to come.
came.
Okay.
Exactly, they also came. Like whoever could.